You want to summarize and do the prayer?
Ready?
Five on the left, two on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Juali.
Noble Juali.
Islam.
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 Hotep.
Hotep.
Read the news.
I want to say one thing. Thank you, Marcel Morris, for having us here.
Islam. Give it up for the more.
Just the update. We plan to come here on the vernal equinox and the autumnal equinox.
Okay.
2 days.
All right. That's even great because I got them 2 days free every time.
Well, very good. And we want to say we appreciate all the work that you've done.
Just put a little bit of that into the pot, into the savings. Put it.
Yeah. So ultimately, 2 more. Jude has gone and done the effort to get this stuff. Any contributions? Would be greatly appreciated.
Can I get that button right now? Did you get it? I got it. Okay.
You wanna
So should we start with the
No, we're just gonna go because of time. We're just gonna go back and forth and not resolve.
Yeah, I'm just basically gonna bring information like I always do, and then I'm just gonna have a little subject matter that I think that we should discuss as a body politic about our behavior towards each other, and how, especially in the public view, how we are towards each other. That's basically. I'm not going to drown everybody out with a bunch of information on that, right? So, and as you see, our time is. Everybody had to get in. Everybody's still, there's probably still people on their way here. So, can I get that button? No.
We want to keep going on that theme with regard to the position that the Moors should be taking with regard to what it is that was presented to us. We know that there's always issues, but it is it's of extreme importance that when we look at the teachings that were presented to us by Noble Juali and the Quran that was presented to us, that was for us to correct our behavior. That was for us to go from being in a dead state, whether mental dead state, economic dead state, physical dead state, spiritual dead state, and raise our vibration to somewhere higher. Just to again stress the titles of the chapters in the Holy Quran that are relative to Noble Juali only. And think about, as you hear in the titles, think about how the titles could apply to your everyday. or people you know, or who you think, oh yeah, they probably need to read this or whatever, or maybe you need to read it because of your own quote behaviors. Holy instruction and warnings for all young men. And we'll just take an excerpt from each. The foundation of health, which must supply the stream of prayer, shall quickly be dried up, and every spring of joy shall be exhausted. In the prime of thy life, old age shall overtake thee. The sun shall decline in the morning of thy days. But when virtue and modesty enlighten her charms, and luster of a beautiful woman is brighter than the stars of heaven, and the influence of her power in it, it is in vain to resist. The innocence of her eyes is like that of a turtle. Simplicity and truth dwelleth in her heart. Right? Holy instruction and warnings for all young men. Marriage instructions for man and wife from the Holy Prophet. Her hand seeketh employment. Her foot delighteth not in gating abroad. She is clothed with neatness. She is fed with temperance. Humility and meekness are as a crown of glory circling her head. On her tongue dwelleth music. The sweetness of honey floweth from her lips. Decency is in all her words, in her answers, and mildness and truth. Submission and obedience are the lessons of her life, and peace and happiness are her reward. Before her steps walketh prudence, and virtue attendeth at her right hand. Her eye speaketh softness and love, but discretion with a scepter sitting on her brow. Duty of a husband. O cherish her as a blessing sent to thee from heaven. Let the kindness of thy behavior endear thee to her heart. She is the mistress of thy house. Treat her therefore with respect, that thy servants may obey her. Oppose not her inclination without cause. She is the partner of thy cares. Make her also the companion of thy pleasures. Reprove her faults with greatness. Exact not her obedience with rigor. Trust thy secrets in her breast. Her counsels are sincere. Thou shalt not be deceived. Holy instructions for thy children. The soil is thine own. Let it not want cultivation. The seed which thou sowest, that also shalt reap. Teach him obedience, and he shall bless thee. Teach him modesty, and he shall not be ashamed. Teach him gratitude, and he shall receive benefits. Teach him charity, and he shall gain love. Teach him temperance, and he shall have health. Teach him prudence, and fortune shall attend him. The obedience of children toward their father. Be grateful to thy father, for he gave thee life, and to thy mother, for she sustained thee. Hear the words of his mouth, for they are spoken for thy good. Give ear to his admonition, for it proceedeth from love. He hath watched for thy welfare. He hath toiled for thy cause, for thy ease. Do honor therefore to his age, and let not his gray hairs be treated with irreverence. Holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. Sorry, read all of this one. You are the children of one father, for by his care, and the breast of one mother hath given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thine own blood. If thy blood is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other.
Wow.
Holy instructions of unity, holy unity of the rich and the poor, holy instructions from the prophet, master and servant, magistrate and subject, holy instructions from the prophet, social duties, holy instructions from the prophet, justice, holy instructions from the prophet, charity, instructions from the prophet, gratitude, holy instructions from the prophet, sincerity, holy instructions from the prophet, religion, holy instructions from the prophet, know thyself, holy instructions from the prophet, the breath of heaven, holy instructions from the prophet, the soul of man, holy instructions from the prophet, the pinnacle of wisdom, holy instructions from the prophet, the instability of man, holy instructions from the prophet, inconstancy, holy instructions from the prophet, weakness, holy instructions from the prophet, the insufficiency of knowledge, holy instructions from the prophet, misery, the divine origin of the Asiatic nations, the beginning of Christianity, Egypt, the capital empire of the dominion of Africa, the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. And you go through all that, and once you go through all that, and you start applying these lessons to self, mindset is going to change. And once mindsets change, then we're going to see stuff changing around us. And this is why, again, when we look at what Noble Drew Ali presented, and we say, we were talking about this a few nights ago, when we say, oh, it's religious, know that when Noble Drew Ali spoke about religious, he was talking esoteric, he was talking metaphysic, he was talking occult, he wasn't talking going to some building called Moor Science Temple and singing and clapping and doing that type of praise. He was talking about praising the higher self, giving honors to Allah within you, so that once you start ingesting this information, as soon as you start intaking it, it's going to have an effect on you. It's not just like other info that we studied, got to a point in it, and then realized there ain't nothing else for in this. There's nothing else to work towards, because the goal that they told me that is the goal wasn't really, it was illusion. They just wanted to get me on the treadmill going in that direction, giving them my power or giving them my energy. And this is about us putting our energy back in towards ourselves. This is about realizing that, you know, Noble Drew Ali making certain statements with regard to us. Moors, you are a nation. Say 1913. When all these people care about is getting off some plantation. He's talking nationhood back then, and not something that you have to go through, you know what I mean, flaming hoops or whatever like that to get. All you have to do is study what it is that I gave you and prove the stuff that I brought you is some BS. Prove it wrong. Opposed to people prove it wrong, they'll make up stuff to make it be what it's not. Right? When we're talking about being what it is that we know and all that. The for Noble Drew Ali Day this year, we went to City of Toronto, we put in a proclamation request to them so that they can give us something, so we can show people that these people know what's up. Look, they gave us something. Because that's how we know our people got on bandwagons. They have to see stuff. Can't just talk anymore to our people. You have to show them something for them to say, oh, yeah, okay. consider it because you showed me something. They're not jumping on it. Because after you show them that stuff that they've been asking for, then they're not going to be satisfied with that. They want you to show them some grander thing now. And then when you show them that, then they're like, oh, well, you know, what we actually meant was, and then they start talking about some other thing. Right? So you had something that...
Just to build on that, I just heard, I don't know who was saying that, but they're saying that they're coming out with the Truth Act. And if you're out there in the public disseminating information and you can't substantiate that, what you're talking about, you're going to jail. So be mindful of that one. Be mindful of that one. I was like, oh, good, man. We always lying and talking. They're coming for they're liquidating, man. So Big Brother Taz was 100% correct. And as Moor is saying, and we're saying we're a nation. We're ambassadors of some of we can't be going around acting a certain way outside and then having I'm a national, and then you get into a car that has Quebec plates on them. A national rolls around with his national flags around on his conveyance. Most of the time it's a limo. Stretch. I'm just saying, there's a certain type of behavior and character that comes with when you're saying that you're government. Right? There's 191, I think, de jure countries that are de jure. You're not going to see them in the public, yo, man, what are you talking about? Right? So that's what you should build on the Truth Act.
So after we went to them for the proclamation, they came back and said, well, the stuff that you're requesting basically sounds like something that we already did. So how about we just give you that? Right? And the proclamation was National Aboriginal Day, June 21st, 2017. Whereas National Aboriginal Day celebrates the rich culture, heritage, and achievements of Indigenous nations across Canada. It is also a time to focus on truth and reconciliation in order to restore peace, harmony, balance, and to honor Canada's first people while working to restore our relationships. The City of Toronto is committed to working with Indigenous communities to achieve reconciliation in order to restore Indigenous people's rights to self-determination. Now, therefore, I, Mayor John Tory, on behalf of Toronto City Council, do hereby proclaim as June 21st, 2017, National Aboriginal Day in the City of Toronto. Who the Moors are, but they'll recognize the city of whatever. For something. Responded to us with something that lets them know that they know exactly where we're coming from. When we start saying that, we're not black, and they stop